even just the way that it, you know that gif where the guy goes mind blow gif? I love, that's basically how VR feels to me.
Big to my next big robot.
I'm just using all my oil paintings as texture.
Yeah. From this to this. Hello! Alright, so this video is a little bit long. It has a lot of different things in it. I filmed an intro that is going to play right after this, but if you don't want to listen to me talking about a bunch of VR basic kind of things and just like a general introduction to what this video is about, you can just skip through it and just see what's in it if anything's interesting to you. There's like different experiences, different parts of like last week for me. I went to teach VR to some students who had never tried it before. A couple of them had tried it before. But yeah, it was at a school in Paris called New3dge Concept Art, which is a great school, I highly recommend. Feel free to jump around the whole video. Go for it, have a good time. I'm gonna frolic off into the forest like the forest pond creature that I am. Okay, that is pretty funny. Hello, look at this beautiful place. It's so good, isn't it? How do I summarize what I've been through last week? I had such a good time. If you notice me looking down, by the way, it's because my phone's down here and it's got like a little monitor on it that connects to the phone and thus connects to the camera, and that really helps me figure out like where to stand and stuff. So yeah, but anyway, okay, last week I had one of the best opportunities and weeks ever. It was so fun because I was graciously asked by New3dge Concept Art, by Aurélien Fournier specifically, thank you Aurélien, merci beaucoup, to come teach intro to VR to some group 1, I think year 1 concept art students. And they were, first of all, wonderful people, but so skilled. They're amazing. They have such a discipline and a patience and a kindness. So it was wonderful. They were very professional and they were really willing to learn, and they already had like kind of their own style, their own flavor, their own like favorite things. So yes, a very, very good experience on that level. But also it was just so amazing because I was asked to teach one of my favorite things, which is just using VR as a base for illustrations or for ideas or for exploring, sketching, anything. And my favorite programs for doing that are Gravity Sketch, Medium, and Quill. I haven't really tried the others. I know there's Tilt Brush and a couple other things. I would definitely love to try, but those are the ones I like and I use the most. Depending on different things, they all have their own strengths, their own weaknesses, and their own kind of ways that they work, their own structure of how you use them and how the logic kind of works with them. Medium, I would say, is more like clay in front of you. Gravity Sketch, I would say, is more like vectors and like somewhat like poly modeling, and you know, where it's like more like traditional 3D-ish. And then Medium's more like ZBrush kind of, and Quill, I would say, is kind of like the paint, like MS Paint of compared to like Photoshop, something like that, because it's like really just like down to the basics, or like using gouache or something. It doesn't have lighting, but you can make such amazing things and animate in it. So each one has like its own kind of world it exists in, and I just wanted to show it to them in an exciting way, in an open-ended kind of way, in a creative way, as a tool that you can approach and just easily get the hang of and use. I think that a huge element in that is just having the patience to explore the tool at all, having it available to you. So I think that New3dge having having the availability that each student was able to put a helmet on and try VR for themselves, I found that incredible. I think like they don't necessarily have to do that for the students, and that I found that was such a beautiful opportunity that they're providing the students, because most people who never engage in VR, it's just because they never have the opportunity to purchase it for themselves and try it, or they never go somewhere where they can really get a hang on trying it, like really sit down for like a long time and try it. Because I think that if you try it just for a second, you kind of don't get the right idea of it, and maybe you feel a little bit sick because you're doing something like not totally correctly. Yeah, you know, you just need somebody's help, I think, if you're starting out. And it was so fun to be able to do that for people, just kind of introduce them to how the tools just basically work, and even how it just creatively expands your mind as an artist. For me, when I first tried my VR headset, I knew right away it would gel with me. I just like, I could feel it, so I went ahead and I bought it, and I was so excited. Actually, the reason I bought it was because there was a work project that like for the first time felt like, okay, for this project I need to use VR because it's gonna make everything better. And I just had my intuition was correct, because now I use it for everything as a base, and it's just so fun. And I use it also just for sketching, everything. Anyways, I'm going on a lot of tangents, but it's just so fun to use VR and to show people how to use it. And what I was saying was that, yeah, the first time I got it and I put on the headset and I did that like intro tutorial thing. And as you start Oculus, there's like a bunch of stuff that just sprouts out around you, plants and materials and walls and things and creatures, and like there's a whale that kind of just swims through the air and it goes right by you and you can feel it, like it's there with you. And so I found this such a visceral, moving experience, and that's how I want art to feel for people. And so I remember that experience really just made me cry instantly. It was like how far technology has come, and we're still not there yet. Like there's still so much awkwardness, and me and the students were talking about a lot of things where, you know, it's not there yet, but we're really hoping that the tech is gonna, you know, get the right money, get the right development. I know we're a niche clientele, so, you know, we don't get the attention we desire, but I have so much hope for VR and art in VR especially, because you really feel like you're there. The experience is like nothing else. I was even trying to explain it to the taxi driver on the way to the school. I was like, you know how you think that drawing is hard? Well, like VR isn't hard because you know what a tree feels like, you know? Like if I give you clay, you're kind of gonna know what you're after. You're in a basic way. You're gonna know like a trunk has like a cylindrical shape, and the top canopy has kind of like a lumpy shape. And a person doesn't need to understand like how to trick the eye with like line and shape and perspective to understand just like physical masses that are around you in real life, right? So that's why I think VR is incredible, because you just make use of the spatial imagination that you've already developed as a human being. And also you skip the UI and the clicking and the whatever. There's a little bit of a UI experience with like the, you know, the controllers. You do have buttons to press and like menus, but it's so much less than normal. And there's just a more streamlined, intuitive experience. So that's what I appreciate about it the most. Just cutting the BS. When I get an idea now for something to make in VR, I'm like, okay, no clicking. I don't want to open Blender, even though I love Blender. Like I don't want to click anything. I just want to have these controllers in my hand and feel like they're part of me. So the process is smooth. Anyways, yeah, I'm just talking. But all that to say that I helped some students see that, I hope. And also while we were taking breaks, because the helmet on your head, and don't even talk to me about the elastic that they ship the thing with. I really recommend getting a more advanced one, like the Kiwi, kind of like helps redistribute the balance and pressure better. But anyway, so the students were kind of getting headaches and stuff like that and needing a little break. So I also talked to them about like composition and just being an artist. And I think like confidence and competence and calm, those are things that I talk to my mentees about, and just I think are like the 3 pillars of being an artist. So I talked to them about all kinds of stuff while we were taking little VR breaks. And appeal, you know, like I have an appeal video that I recommend you watch if you like appealing art. But yeah, okay, so a blessed week was had for me last week. I wish everybody an experience like that. If you've ever tried to teach, for me, I tried to teach online and I found it has pros and cons, and I never felt such a connection as I did just like being there with the people that I was talking to, and we were trying things like in real time, and I could tell them, oh, try this, like, or yeah, that's really cool what you're doing, keep doing that. Or even saying like, whoa, I actually don't have an answer to your question right now, because it's all of a sudden, and it's a process I haven't even engaged in, because I had people try like very specific assignments, you know, so that they as a person and as an artist, the individual artist that they are with their tastes, could create a creature or like a hard surface ship or something that I don't know exactly how to make. I just know how help them get there, you know? So, because I use it in a pretty basic, sketchy kind of explorative way. Yeah, I think I said everything. So what this video includes is some of them in the classroom hanging out. Not the first few days, because the first few days I didn't want to intimidate them with like, hey, try out the software for the first time and have me film you. So I waited a couple days and I asked everybody if it was okay. And yeah, so we explore a little bit of how they're getting towards their final product, which is so cool. They did so amazing. I found that like the results were so fun, and everybody tried something so different. And just the experience as a teacher of like walking around a classroom and seeing people that you can help like bit by bit create what they're creating, and each screen has something different that expresses what that person's interested in. It was like just so fulfilling. I'm so thankful. It was really great. Yeah, so there's a little bit of everything. There's also a bit of Paris, just kind of walking around. And yeah, that's okay. I'm talking a lot, so I think that's enough. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy. Yeah, okay. I would love to have more experiences like this. I enjoyed it so much, and I genuinely thank New3dge. They're a great school. It was awesome. Like, they really care about their students. And yeah, I don't know if I have anything else to say. If I do, it'll be like in a little voiceover inside the video. But thank you so much. I hope you enjoy. And also I'll show you the students' work and everything too. Skip around the video if there's like a chapter you're more interested in. There's just them doing some random parts of their projects. And then at some point I asked them how they liked VR, and each person kind of says whether they had a positive experience or a negative experience. There was quite variation actually. And yeah, okay. Have fun. Let me know if you try VR, what you think of it, what your favorite program is. Anything at all. All right. Bye. Thanks so much. Have a good day. So let's have a look now at some of what the students made while they were at the school last week. Keep in mind that they only had 1 week to do any of this, so they learned a little bit of gravity sketch, a little bit of medium. Some of them maybe tried quill for 2 seconds, some Google Earth, traveling, a little bit of everything. And they also painted something, so that's really hard to do. Learning VR, using VR, creating a base in VR, and also painting and sketching and choosing colors and lighting and a lot of other things that go into creating an actual image. So if you get VR and you try to do that, understand that that's a huge undertaking. It's not to be underestimated, you know, to try out VR for the first time and to make something with it. They had to make some sacrifices, right? They had to choose like which program to focus on, create an image that's simple enough to bring to some level of completion. I told them that all levels are fine as long as they explore enough during the week, you know, of the softwares, and then of sketching and like establishing some values and some idea as well. So there's going to be all levels of different work depending on the level that the person decided to go forward with. And yeah, I just think that they came out with some really good results. Everything was so varied and challenging in its own specific way, like whether you're making a machine or a creature or a place in VR. It's really fun, it's really cool. You can do a lot, but also there's a lot of issues that you have to solve along the way, which is always tricky, right? But yeah, so I think that each person proved a lot of determination and curiosity in terms of like how they approached it, and I'm really glad they pulled through the way they did. Yeah, I would just love to do it again. I would love to like help other people learn this, learn these techniques, because I think they're so fun. Okay, I'm gonna close my mouth. Let's look at the awesome results.
cool architectural just style of how like everything is just like almost built on top of each other.
Yes. I love that about it. It's really inspiring, I find.
And it's like so dense too.
Right? And then say you wanted to structure something like this yourself, this would be a really good reference.
Yeah,
beyond
exactly.
just seeing it in a picture.
Oh, it's so nice, man. I feel like I'm so big.
Thank you.
Awesome textures.
And I'm just using all my oil paintings as texture.
Yeah. I love that idea, by the way. That's an awesome idea because it really introduces your own work into your own work. So
Yeah.
it's a really good idea.
Yeah, it's nice because like I always try to think of ways like how can I, incorporate my traditional work into my 3D.
Yes.
And it's like kind of hard sometimes, but like I feel like this is like a bit more organic and different, and I like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really glad you did that.
Yeah, like I have the little docks here.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm happy with this because in the yesterday's island, like I was doing more of the island overview, but I'm trying to think more about segments and then building from each segment. So, yeah. Thank you.
Oh, Visa. Remember
This painting is so good.
Oh, sorry, Julie, you are right now.
Oh
Nice.
no. But yeah.
Speak to my next big robot. Pretty happy how I went with the robot.
You know, your robot looks a bit like an old camera.
Oh, true. Like like this.
Those box ones.
Oh yeah. I know what you mean.
Oh, you really like this?
Give it like a vintage texture.
Yeah, I can make a slot here so the photo comes out here.
And then you can just go in that soup.
Maybe I can eat.
Can I like take a screenshot?
And like paint, like a
I'm not
paint
sure
there?
how, but
Use it for like my. Can I set like an angle?
Like that'd be really cool.
that's what I would do.
That is, yeah, it's way
Especially,
too nice.
you know.
And wow, I swear I'm going to pure at the end of the day.
Oh no.
Yeah, I don't know if you can see in the background. I did like more. Actually, I can show you this. You see in the background, it's
Yeah.
great. And also like the little aliens floating. That's the thing I want to do. And I think I'll then go to Blender.
What I was aiming for is that okay, you have like those big shapes, that could stay quite simple in terms of details and texture. Like there would not be a lot of stuff, but then there would be like the, let's say, insides where it could be like more texture and detail. So that's the thing we were talking about just before. So I'm kind of aiming for like that type of rhythm and detail and proportional read. So, but it's like super difficult to do. So.
Yeah, but I think you're really onto something. So definitely keep going.
Yeah, thank you.
Good. Cool. Thank you.
Uber Eats.
Only berries.
One.
Your creature's looking really great.
I'm trying to.
You really got a hang of what you were wanting to do, right? With the fur, it's looking
Yes, I already.
the feathers, or the feather fur.
I started like doing the same with only with the
Yeah.
smooth like on the square, but I will add like more clean ones afterwards.
Yeah.
It's just like doing some sketches first, trying to get an idea of what I want to do.
Yeah, but
So I
really
really
nice
want like kind of a
progress.
color, like. So you can't see my you can see them on the left. And like on the grayscale, like the owl kind of has a big color of big feathers. And I want to have like this, this kind of crown, like a lion.
I really like the overall shapes too, like the volumes of the body. It's really charming.
So a rabbit, owl, squirrel thing.
Yeah, awesome. Cool, can't wait to see it. Keep going.
Thank you.
Nice. So you move your right analog stick to the right. Yep. Awesome.
Oh, that gives you a lot more control.
Yes.
Nice. Okay.
Now you can actually.
Now I can make it look not awkward. Can you like control the sizes of stuff though? Because right now it just looks like a small adult.
Yeah, I do.
Like, which is. I mean, I guess you could go for that, but that's like
Small adult.
not really ideal.
Yeah.
I think Ronaldo's draw on because Nami is like very Nami. Of course, every day. They call me the wife beater.
Ça va, cette couleur-là, là. Ça, là. Je pense que ça va être parfait. Comme ça. Voilà. C'était pas ça. Yes. C'est un mec qui prend, c'est un mec qui fait son pote et son pote qui prend la photo.
Yeah, c'est une photo. Il a l'air sympa.
Yes.
You're making some nice cloud shadows.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just trying out.
It's looking good.
Got my little post guy.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm thinking like if I made something closer, maybe I could like make more in blender. So I mean, and then if I need to make more,
That's graceful.
but I'm gonna like set up like it's like the same island I was doing yesterday, but like different approach.
A really intense foreground with the plants, and that's what where these red blocks are. That's what that was blocking out. So those will be super high def, and then as soon as I get to the background for stuff like this, I'll do you know, just balls and things.
Yeah, like storms.
Yeah, yeah. You know, whatever. He's like riding a wave of it, I guess. That's what it feels like.
But this is like looking slightly too stylized. This one, it's still stylized, but like the shape, the colors are more. And so this is like kind of looks like a dragon type. It looks cooler without all the lines. Yeah, I think I was telling Mael, but I want to take all the elements I have and then maybe build a bit more in Blender. Just because like I think I'm at the limit for VR today, and
Too much.
I can just if I need to build more, I can go back into VR, make elements, and then compose my scene in Blender. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially for like architecture and
No,
all
that's
that.
a good approach, yeah. You've got a really solid base going.
Yeah. And I was saying this is supposed to kind of look like a dragon head. Like,
Oh, I like that, yeah.
yeah, because it's the same island, but like a slightly different approach. It's like supposed to be a dead dragon, and these people made a tea farm on it, and they make like magic tea.
Yeah.
So these are like the little tea bushes.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Awesome.
Understand better how to do a clean topology for like UV after. So
Yeah, for sure. So what you want to do is to be able to get a clean topology in Gravity Sketch.
it's better to have it on Gravity Sketch. After, I think I will still need maybe to clean after on Blender, but it's really different. It depends on what you want at the end. If you want like more like a Paul Chalisson style, you need to have like clean UVs, obviously. If it's more like to overpaint after, you don't have to care so much about like the clean mesh things.
But Paul doesn't do it in Gravity, right?
pull doesn't do it in gravity, right?
From this?
But that in 3D, that's one of the things I really like. It's like this
Janky.
yeah, the terraform way we talk. You know, like I just made a bank of like just squirrel and weird stuff. You want me to do it again? Yeah, that's one of the dirtiest I ever did, I think.
They're both really good.
Yeah, but no, but I mean, like usually, like my render is a bit closer to to what I had, like.
That looks cool.
It's like by loose parts. There you go. So like, everything there's now like select and whatever, and it's working a lot better.
Comment il s'appelle le mec des éléments Everett.
the shot.
I was surprised because it was like there's one thing here. Like one guy
It's
just
big,
did
but it's like a small item.
so that was
But I think maybe what gives this
Like kind of older
going
buns, like
after each other, but like
the way it ends very sharp.
small shift size.
It feels like some kind of making and the sensors like the color and this kind of color. Like blurring here.
Oh, are you talking about like in the back here?
Because there's like a mini area.
I see what you're saying.
No, I love it. Then there's something wrong with you, not with the thing. No, it's beautiful.
Zoom in if you want. Yeah. Awesome. Amazing work.
No, but yeah, no, it was really much more intuitive to do it in VR than on Blender or ZBrush because it was like drawing. So
Yeah.
I feel like I'm more on a drawing person.
Yeah.
So when I was just like in VR, yeah, it was really more intuitive. It was really better.
Awesome. You really like being there with the model.
Oh yeah, for sure. And
Yeah.
I could like really be so close to it and do with the details without having the problem of the mesh like being completely in my face. No, it was
Oh
really
yeah, like while you're detailing, worry about the mesh flow or
yes,
something.
exactly. I could zoom as much as I wanted to.
Yeah, awesome. It turned out amazing.
Thank you.
Cool. So, did you like VR? Did you not like VR?
Yeah, so VR, I think it has its ups and downs. Like it's pretty useful, and I feel like it can work for a lot of people. Personally, for my workflow, I don't think it's as valuable as for others. So it was great, but not for me.
Okay. Would you do it again?
Yeah, I think I could do it again.
Yeah.
Like if I have a VR headset, but yeah, I could do it again. For fun, I could do it again. For fun,
Yeah.
I feel like if I was way more experienced, it would be something even funnier. But for now, I have other stuff to learn.
Yeah.
And so splitting myself with VR, I don't see the value.
It's not your priority.
Yeah.
Okay. But I'm glad you did it. Yeah?
Yeah,
Are
nice.
you happy with your results?
I'm happy. I'm pretty happy. It's pretty good.
I think they look really good. Yeah. Awesome, man. Thank you.
No problem.
Hey Misa, did you like VR?
I really did. Like at first, I didn't love it that much, but like after the second day, I kind of like got used to it and got to know Gravity Sketch a lot better.
Yeah, the second one you made was really good.
Thank you. Yeah, I think what really clicked for me was like when I tried using my own textures and kind of playing around more with like experimentation.
Yeah.
And at first, like I didn't want to embrace experimentation, so
Yeah,
that
it was a little frustrating at first.
Yeah.
But then you started to use your own textures from your own oil paintings, and that was an awesome idea.
Thank you.
Yeah, like it looks a little glitchy and stuff because Gravity Sketch is like kind of bends the texture and warps it a little bit, but it really gives a lot of personality. Yeah, and you like put it into Blender and everything, right?
Yeah, so I put it into Blender, I relit the scene, and then these are my paint overs that I'm still working on.
So nice.
I kind of wanted it to be like a sequential like story of like a boat coming to this island, and there's a tea plantation on this island.
Yeah, and these are the tools.
Yeah, and these are some of the tools I just made in Gravity Sketch, and it's just so fast. Like I can make things really quickly.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So would you use this in your workflow?
I think I might, especially for like quick sketches like this. Like I can easily paint over them.
Yeah, and you did that same texture technique there.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So cool.
It's just, it's fun. Like I think if I use it for experimentation, I can really enjoy it.
Yeah. Any last thoughts?
I don't know. I guess like have fun with art.
Awesome. Did you like VR?
I did like VR. So I think it's really good for like blocking in, which is what I used for this shot. So it's really quick to go in and just put some like nice primitives and find your shot. And I was able to come up with like things that I wouldn't have in traditional, like going in a blender or something like that. So
or just a 2D scan.
Yeah. So especially for kind of a stylized shot like this, like it's hard to tell just looking at this, but the buildings are like at angles to kind of emphasize this perspective.
Yeah.
And that's not really something I would have come up with just like in traditional 3D, because everything would be like, oh, it's at a 90-degree angle or something.
Yeah, I find I come up with different things too, and I really enjoy that. So it's nice to hear that.
Yeah, so I definitely had a lot of fun with it. I don't know going forward how much I'll be able to like integrate it into my workflow, but I think it does have its place.
Awesome. Yeah. All right, thank you so much. Hey, did you enjoy VR?
Yeah, quite a lot actually. It was my first time like sculpting, and even though like it took me some time to combine it with my own workflow because I'm more realistic, I feel like it's really cool. Definitely get some time to get used to what you want and combine it with your own workflow, because I discovered like I like different stuff in VR that I don't especially like them in 2D, for example. But even though I feel like it's a really powerful tool to just like create something quickly and for example like set an environment or like a thumbnail, I think it's really cool for thumbnails.
Okay.
And yeah,
awesome.
I really liked it.
Cool. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Looks really good.
Yeah, I'm still in the process right now, but I feel like it's getting somewhere.
It really is. Thank you.
Okay, as an experience, it was pretty fun for the first hours. Then it gets like pretty hard. On
you got a big migraine, didn't you?
Yeah, I got like third day. I was out, and I don't know if I really used it for what it could be good at being used. But definitely, like I spent a lot of time without even realizing, just playing around and making different trees. So I guess it's more fun than Blender. Like that's my opinion. But would I use it? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You're not sure?
No, not sure.
Okay, yeah. So, the lukewarm reaction, right?
Yeah, it's like, it has a lot of drawbacks. I wasn't expecting it to be that strong, but it really gave me a headache. So it's
it gave you a headache, but what you made was great. And, you know, I think it helped you get that form and everything, right?
Mm-hmm. No, definitely.
Trees,
and maybe even understand something more about trees, because it's like you realize, branches are just little trees that you can copy and put.
Branches are just little trees. I like that. All right. Well, thank you so much.
No, thank you.
All right. So, how do you like VR?
I really like VR because usually when I use Blender, it's kind of hard because you have to use a mouse and then you have to set the camera manually. You have to do everything very manually. While in VR, I'm just there and I just zoom in and I can just worry about what I have to do. And just creating geometry, creating fluid shapes is super hard in Blender or any other 3D software, but creating fluid shapes in VR is it's way easy. It's way easier, and that's why it's perfect.
I'm just gonna show what you did.
These are some color keys I tried to make with Iris's help. It was beautiful because
really well.
Thank you. And the only downside I found, I really like it. I don't have really any downsides. The only downside I found it in VR was if you kind of texture and if you put materials, you cannot take them out, and in Blender that's the only but it's kind of hard. But apart from that, it's really easy to create super fluid shapes like these, and it just takes 2 minutes to create a super fluid shape. And even it's not perfect, but you cannot make this in Blender like
easily,
easily. So it's super nice, and for me I really love it because I was not able to do this before, so for me it's a plus.
So you feel like it helps you do things you weren't able to do before?
Organic things to model in Blender, it was like impossible for me. I never did it. I just used to paint it.
And if you feel like it's going to be complicated to do, you're going to avoid doing it.
Always. I did that always. I used to just do hard surface things, but now I'm like, okay, I can actually do it. It's fun.
More potential.
Much more potential.
Awesome.
Perfect.
Cool.
That's so good. Thank you.
Ryan, do you like VR?
It's so cute.
He's hiding. Yeah, it's looking good. Can you show the other one too?
Very cool.
Awesome, thank you. Hey, did you enjoy VR?
Yeah, it was quite interesting. I feel like I had already some experience in Medium, which I think is really cool, and it's now my go-to for like organic stuff and sculpting in general. And I also like really enjoy the work of Louis Laurent, which uses Medium a lot, like for building assets instead of 3D code. So that's something I want to look into. And Gravity Sketch, it was also interesting, but I think I have a hard time trying to find a fit for it. So
where it fits in your workflow.
Yeah, because definitely like it's interesting and like it was quite fast to make, and I think faster than in Blender. It's just like the end result is not like as good as I would have expected.
Yeah, you want something with higher fidelity, maybe.
Yeah, so I think it can be used like for like quick sketching, and then in Blender like you replace it with like some more assets, or like you remodel some stuff. But like I wouldn't spend too much time in Gravity Sketch. It was more for learning, so I really spent the time. But now maybe like just for quick concepting, getting the scale right, and like really being able like to be in there, but like no more than that. So I'm mostly interested in Medium now and like exploring this. But yeah, for sure, it's really interesting.
Yeah, thank you so much.
No worries.
Very cool.
Are you filming or taking a photo?
Oh, man.
Whoa, can we do like an infinity? Oh, look at that. Little subsurface. Subsurface. Scatter. Hi, I'm Iris, Iris Mud, and yeah, I am trying to film an intro to a video that I really had fun making. I'm trying to think of how to wrap up the experience. It was so cool. The reason I was so happy to be asked to do that is that I love this process. It's something that has freed me so much creatively. Yeah, I just think it's endless. The opportunities, the possibilities that it creates, even just the way that it, you know that gif where the guy goes from like Steve Brule or something? I think it's from, or it's from Tim and Eric, sorry. But yeah, similar. Yeah, the mind blow gif. I love, that's basically how VR feels to me, because when I use it, it's just, even just the possibilities and the way my imagination has changed towards picturing future images is now just never going to be the same. After I stepped into VR, I became a different artist. That's a blessed thing. So I got that email and I was so excited to get it. Maybe I've scared Aurelio with how positively my reaction was. Like, I think I used a lot of exclamation points, a lot of emojis, a lot of enthusiasm, saying like, thank you for thinking of me for this opportunity. I would love to come show students such a fun process and just kind of help familiarize them with the tool. And I think that more people should be using VR. I think it's a wonderful tool, so I want to be part of spreading it, you know, and just kind of want to be like one of the VR ambassadors, because I just feel like it's such an amazing tool. So yeah, that's kind of what this video is about. Yeah, thanks. Thanks for watching. I was trying to do like a smooth